All right, so please, we need to add a line, and how are we going to add a line to the stuff when we have the state already? As you can see, show quantity box or not show quantity box. So if the quantity box is shown, we want the line to be just like the condition that we have here. If it is showing quantity box, display this component, or if it is not, show this component. So again, too, we can conditionally apply our style too. So we already have the style for this wrapper. So on this image, we have the style because the stuff is actually on the image wrapper, not the entire box, according to our design. Let me bring out the design stuff. Yeah, so this is what we have there. We need to have this line anytime this thing is showing the like that. So what do we do? So this star image here, we need to a different way of handling this thing. One way is by conditionally render the style. Another way is by giving a attribute here, whether to show line or not. So I'm going to go with the class first, or the other one too can come later on. What I mean by that is here, I can give a custom attribute, a normal HTML attribute. So all the custom attributes from HTML, the class, the href, ID, and whatever stuff like that, they are normal attributes on element. But sometimes you want to add your own that is not part of the HTML. So when you want to add those one, you need to start with data, then followed by whatever name of the attributes that you want to create, like your own custom attribute. So here now I can call it show line. So this my attribute now is known as show line, not show link. So show line, and I want to give it a value. But whatever value I'm going to give it there will either be true or false, based on whether we are showing this item here or not. But this one here now is what we call custom attribute, because there is something like show line on div. Div doesn't have anything like show line as attribute. So in order for this thing to treat it properly as a attribute, it must always start with this dash the data hyphen here. And whatever that follows it is your own attribute. And what I want to do is I want to either show this false or true. So and it's based on the condition that we have up there. So here now is going to be show quantity box. So this is how you can create your own custom attributes. So saving this and go to the page, you are going to see that on every element with this div here, you are going to see this custom attribute there, and it will either be true or false, because I know that this thing is either be true or false based on what we set up here. So going back to the page, expand this one, increase the font size, open the dev tools, and you can check any one of them. We render the same thing. So it's going to show it based on what is going on the page. So let me remove this stuff. Let me expand this one, and we can inspect one of them is on the image that we want to inspect. So we want to inspect the box itself. And as you can see here now, we now have this data show line, which is false because the thing is not. But now if I click on add to cart, as you can see, it will update the value. So based on this attribute now, we can now apply some CSS on the element. So this is how to do it using the custom attributes. Another way of doing it is by applying a CSS. If the stuff is true, and if it's not true, then you remove the CSS. That one too, we're still going to conditionally apply the stuff, but you have to go extra for this one, because you whether the stuff is click or whether this thing is showing this or not, this one will always be there. So we just want to add another one, and which means this one now you need to convert it to a string. But if you convert this one to string, it will not see it as JavaScript code again. So in order for it to see that, in order for this to see that JavaScript code, we need to convert it to a template string. So which means here now, firstly interpret this stuff as normal JavaScript. Here where I need to get there, convert it to text. Then after this place, because we want to apply two things, that's why I have to convert it to string. The reason we are not converting all this one because it's just one class, so you don't need to be doing that. If you do it, it's just waste of typing. Then to do it for you with this one. But if it's not multiple styles that you want to apply, then you have to pull them. And the reason I'm using backtick is because I want to be able to use this template string there. So interpret, once you get whatever value that needs to be there, put it there. Then after it too, I want to have another class. But this one now, I want to conditionally apply the style. So if the show box is there, so show box are like this. If it is showing, what did I want to do? I want to use the styles dot line like this. Then if it is not, just don't do anything. So if the show box is there, apply this class along with this one. This one is always there because we did not apply any condition. It will always be there. But we want this particular line to come in when the show box is true. But if it's not true, just leave empty space here like that. And if I save it now, go back to the page, the same element here, it's going to apply the class. And as you can see here, it's saying undefined because we don't have that class. But if I click on it, as you can see, it will disappear. We only have this one with the empty space. And if you click on add to cart, as you can see now, undefined will come. And this one is showing undefined because we don't have any class like this line. So in order for it to work, we just need to open the styles, then we create whatever we need to create for it. Where do I have? Okay, this is the image. So this here, and just create a line. What do I want line? I think link line. And we want to have the border color to be, what's that color? I think it's red. So red like this, but it will not work because I'm specifying color of border. So I can use border here. Two pixels solid. By default, all of them should have border but no color there. But when the line class comes in, now apply the color. And the reason why I'm doing it here first, I'm not doing another line because border used to take space. So which means if you do it directly from this line and it's not there before, it will create extra space. But we want that space to be there. The only thing we're just bringing out is the color. So it will not expand or reduce. As if you go to some sites, some element will kind of take extra space because that border is not there before. So when you now go on top of the element that they are now breaking it up, which can cause a shift in the layout, which can cause a problem later on because if the element is here and it kind of has shifted and it can move some element to another line, which is not what you want. As you can see here now, it will show, but there's a problem. The problem there is that our border radius is no more there because we apply it somewhere else. Let me see, 200 pixels. We apply it on the image itself, so border radius. So in order for this thing to work, either we move it up or we apply the same thing. So I don't want to stress myself. Let me just apply the same thing here like that, and as you can see, it will match. Or you can remove it from here and make sure that the image is not going out because now the image will want to start going out, which we have to use overflow. But if you use overflow now, it will affect this one. That's the reason why I don't want to stress myself. So let me just apply it on the two of them like that. So the image is having it, and this one too is having it. So everybody will know that we're applying it from two sides. And as you can see, it will not show here. And the only time it will come outside is when that class is there. So it will add it. So if I remove this one now, you can see the class will disappear. And if you add it, then the class will, you can see it's adding that line. So the only time the line will come outside is when we have this box, even though we're going to change it later on because this one is just for us to see what is going on here. Because whatever we're doing here needs to happen on the card. So which means you need to have a central store or a central place where all our states is being managed. Not that the component will be managing the stuff. Because whatever you're adding here, if it is two, you put pick here, we need to see the two here. And it needs to recalculate all the prices that we have from there like that. But I can see that this one is not arranged properly. So let's fix this one, this add to cart. Because we actually make sure that this one have a minimum width or so. Let me see, yeah, add to cart and where's that one? Quantity box. Yeah, I gave it this minimum width, so it should apply to the two of them. Since we selected the two of them here, so let me just apply that class so that it will work like it will look the same. Not that that one is now looking somehow. So it will always have the same whatever stuff there. So yeah, I think this one is okay now. So if you add, we see the line, and if you don't have it, then the line will go up, and there's no way this one will affect this one. Even though it's the same component that we're using, but since we are calling them separately. So this one will have its own state. This one too will have its own state. That is the advantage of component. You can reuse them, and each one of them are going to have their own state and life cycle going on with them. There like that. So I think we are done with this one. The basic stuff from here is technically done. So what we need to focus on now is this card. So we need to do the design for this card, and I can see there that we have separate. Okay, let me see the way it is on mobile. Okay, this is the desktop, and let's look at the mobile too. Kind of at the same thing. Okay, first let's treat this one when the cart is empty. So let's go into the cart and just emulate this one too. We're going to create a local state that we can toggle from this 0 to 1. If it is 0, which means you don't have anything yet, this is what is coming out. But if you have a number greater than 0, then it will now bring out all the items. No, this one is modal. So it will now bring out all these items, which I am saying that is the same thing as what you have on the desktop side. Even the, as you can see, is the same thing. So I don't care about whether it is mobile or desktop, it will always go to the center with this text. So they are the same thing. And when it's having content too, it's still the same layout. So I'll be using the desktop to just do the design directly, like that, since it's the same thing. There's not much difference there like that. So let's focus on this part, not you. I want to do this one first, the empty one. So let's go into the cards, and inside the cards folder, we're going to create the card items. But for now, let's do this empty. So we're going to create a component for this too, like that, which is the same thing that we did here on that product. As you can see, we have this article button, we have this quantity box, and each one of them they have their own things going on with them. There. So that's the same thing. Should I put them together like this too? Inside the product. So where's the cat? There's not too much of that cat. So yeah, what I will just do create another component for it. So I'm just going to create an empty cards dot gsx like this. So RAFCE, which is going to create this one for us. So save. Again, we're going to add the cat list, because I know that's a list there. Then inside that one, it now have its own cart items. So I'm going to have a cart list dot gsx like this, and should I? It's better I put them in their own separate folder. So cards list like this is going to be so because I need to create its own CSS. So move, and inside this card list, I'm going to have its own style.module.css. Because if I want, I can even use normal CSS too. But I only want to separate them. The same thing too with these empty cards. So I'm going to create its own folder too, empty cards, and then move this one to inside it, and create its own styles.module.css. So close the side. Here, go into the card list. So RAFCE, and from there import styles from the styles dot this one. So this one I can just give it I should better use correct name here. So I'm going to have styles at least wrapper. But this naming is very important, because when you go to your page later and you want to debug, as you can see, or the naming you are using for your class, it will always show. So it's better you use the name according to, not that you just say wrapper. But which wrapper is this one? Which wrapper is this one? It's not making sense like that, because when you have a lot of them and you want to debug from here, to be really hard to quickly, based on the name, you should already know what is going on at that place. So I'm going to have this at, so all of them will always have the name of the component attached to them like this before whatever class that I want to create. So that by the time I get to the page, I will only see it's not a must, so but it's just for uh you know debugging and other things that come with it there. So this one I will just have a part list like this. So save. Then inside this empty one too. So import stuff from the style.module.css. This one too. Class name, class name, close this one. So styles and dot empty cat wrapper like that. So saved. And now we can go into our cards. From there, let's create a state. So this one I'm going to change it. It's going to be cards wrapper like that, so that it will be easier to work with. So this one will not work again because the name is not different. It is known as wrapper, but here now I'm calling it cat. So by the time I'm going into the CSS, it will work. So here, let's create a state as cats set as cat, which I don't even need this one now. So let me just leave it empty like this. So use state, which is going to be false because we want to see the empty. So if it is not having cat, it will show the empty one. That is having it, and it will show the correct stuff. So inside this cat, that's not all. The cat is having title, with the, you can see your cat and having this number. So we need to create that. So here I'm going to have the area. This is going to have this class styles. Not having about this. So styles dot cats. Yeah. So inside this header, I'm going to have this h1, and inside h1 I will have this your cards, and here inside it we need to have the counts. So whatever the counts, or I can just say cards like that. All this one will be coming in later on. But for now, let me just create the dummy stuff. So cards line should just be 3. So whatever number that is coming in, that's what it will show there. So save this one. And after the header, we can now have the this thing now. So here I want to check. So ask cat with ask cat, what we want to show is cat lists. Come outside now. Cat lists. This is you like that. Then if it is not, we want to show empty cat. So that's all. And each one of them will manage whatever the name needs to do with each other. As you can see now, we have the 3, and if they say get updated later on based on what you are doing from here, you see that it will update the answer there. Alright, so save. And I think that's all from this file. So I just need to go to the CSS and update it this thing there. So enter. So instead of it to be wrapper, now it's going to be cards wrapper like this. So save, then our style will come back. So go back to the page. So what do we need to do with the cards? That title at the top, the color are not the same. So, and that H1 is too big. So that's why. So I have this, I call it cat header. So this cat header, nothing much. The color should be that red. Yeah. So the font size should be around this 1.25 rem. Yeah, too much. I don't know the size. So since we don't have the Figma design, so we can't just, so we'll just use this one there, but it's not really affecting this H1 because I'm talking to the parents, not the elements. So here I can just do the cat header itself. Inside it we have H1. Am I using H1 or H2? I should use H2 because it's on the major title of the page. H2 saved. Go back to here, then this should be H2, and the font size from here, because by default the browser is using EM, so which means it's going to look its parents font size and calculate its value, but updating it now you can see we're using whatever I gave to it. So 1.5 should be okay like this. So this cat header or this wrapper itself, it should be displayed as a flex. Flex direction should be colon because I want them to be on top of each other because to be side by side, but that's not what I want. And again, too, I want a gap of 1 rem. I think it's okay like this. So the other thing is just to work on the empty parts and the parts list. So let me close this one for now. I'll still come back to it so that we can see that it's showing the other list for us. So let's go into the empty cards. So where's our empty card? Empty card component. So what do we have in the empty card? So if you look at the design, it have this cake and it have this text there like that. So let's apply. So inside this place, we need the image. And where is the image coming from? We have it inside our asset. So going into the asset, we have this icon. Where are you? Let me expand this thing. Yeah, empty card. So let me import it. So import empty cards image from go back, go back again, assets. Then inside this place we have icons, and then we have this illustration, empty, whatever stuff. So copy this one inside the source. Let's pass it like this. The auth is going to be empty card image. So image like this in case it's not showing, which is not supposed to be, but anything can happen to it. Show all this. So here we have the p tag, which is going to be your added items with whatever stuff. So let me reduce this one again. We appear here. So saved and go back to the page. As you can see, we have the content, but we need to make sure that this image is not this big. So what we can do there is to go. We already apply this empty stats wrapper. So where are you? It is here. Let me move them side by side. So we have this class. So df because x direction column tab should be around this 1 or 2 items because I think it's so AIC JCC, which is just align content to center. So this empty whatever stuff inside it we have an image. So the height should be, let's see, 100 pixels. It's not too big. Ah, let me no. It's supposed to adjust the width for me. Actually, the one I made before. Too small. 150. I think it is okay, and this one is too much. Like this, I think I need padding. Padding bottom should be around that 2 area because I want more space here, and I think this one should be 120. Yeah, it's okay like this. So the text and so empty. Then we have the p. The color should be that our red. So the color should be red. The font weight should be 600, I think. And the text align should be center. So for us to make sure everything is on red. Color is on red. Where is the our color this thing? So it should be using this rose 500. Let's see the rose 500 empty cards. So rose 500. Yeah. So we have given this title. Let me see. Is that the color? Okay, that's the color. Is using red. So we have this empty. But what if our list is not empty? We should be able to see the list. So let me open back these cards. So we can just set this one to true. So instead of it to be false, we just said true like this. And you see that it will not show that one now, it will show the list. We are going to remove all this one because this is not they will be coming from states later on. So we are just using all this one as a placeholder for what we want to do. So it is 11, then it will based on the number of items that you pick from here. So if I add to that, so right now it is 3, it's supposed to show 3 here. But now if I add this one too, so this is three, and let me just, this is six, this is three. So that means this one's supposed to show nine items. So we're going to see how to, uh, handle all these things later on. By the time we talk about our global states, because I need to explain context, because each component here, I don't want to be passing props down around. What we need to do is to have a central store, and each one of them can just go there and pick whatever they need from the list. So that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to create a state from this app .gsx and we'll now start passing down props. Here now, if you want to do that one inside this app .gsx, we need to start sending down the product to this one, sending it to cart too, so that it can do whatever it needs to do. But we're not going to do that from here. We are going to create a global store by using context, using reducer, and so forth like that, so that you see how to manage a state in a bigger application there without passing down the props. Because if you pass down the props here, this one will receive it. Once you receive it, you need to send it down to cart list here too. And cart list, you need to send it to the cart item. That's what we call props drilling. Because there's some stuff here now you need to send down that the intermediate component is not even using it. You just need to send it down to what is inside, which is bad practice, because the component is not using it. Why do you need to send it to it? And it's not be the one that will now pass it down. So when you pass a props to a component, and that component needs to send it to another component, and that one in the middle is not using it, we call it props drilling. And it's not good, because if the content change at the top, it needs to re-render everything that have access to that prop. And some of them don't even, some of the components don't really need to change at all. For this our small application, you will not see any flick in the application there. But when you're working with a bigger thing, like something that have a lot of data, you can't be doing something like that. So we're going to handle this thing in a real sense there, like that. So what do we need to do? Let's go into this our cart list, and let's see the design. What is the design for that? So go back. So this is what we have there. So for the card list, as you can see, let me bring out my pen, because you need to plan whatever you want to do, not just jumping into coding directly like that. You need to look at the layout and you create whatever component or element or the structure that you need to have there, like that. So if you look at this in here, the catalyst is going to be everything here, like that. So this is the catalyst. But inside the catalyst, or I might even create another component sef, because I want this. This is what's supposed to be catalyst. So this is catalyst. So here, this is going to be the whatever stuff, but I will just put everything inside this cart list for now. I don't want to create too much components, so I will create other one inside this place. So I'm going to create the item list. This is the items, like that. And inside this place, as you can see, there's another group here, which is the order. So I can call it order component, like that. So the order, we have this total, it will have this one, and it will have this one here, like that. And this is the list. I think what I will do here is that I will create another group inside this parent there, and it will hold the list and this one together, like that. So this is a should I put everything inside the scat list? I think let me put everything here. Don't let me do too much. So inside this place, I will create this order component. I will create this list component, like that. And inside the list, as you can see, we have items. So this is one item. This is another item. And as you can see, they are the same thing. The difference between them is just the content that is inside. So we need a component for this. Then we now look through whatever the list of items we have, or the list of whatever product that they are there, and you render them. Again, we are going to have this side where you have the total of everything that is here. This one plus this one plus this one. That's what you now have here. And that's why I say we want to use that our state management, so that we don't need to start sending props down, because whatever this one is using here is what this one too will use, and all of them will be using. So we don't want to be sending props down. We use a state management, and we're going to start with the context, because that's the most cheapest one, and you don't need to install anything there. You just need to wire everything together, and it will start working there. So this is what we need to do there. So let's start. What's time? Oh, no, it's 4:01 already. Many minutes gone. This is 30 minutes. So what do we need to do now? Let's enter inside this card list and just arrange all the things that we need. Yeah. So inside this card list, I need a component. I need the list like this component. Apart from this list, I need this order. So I need the order components like this. And inside the list, we need the list items. So we need to create all these components. So down here, so I'm going to have function list like this. So return list. So I'm going to return a div. So I'm going to return a div, and inside the div, I will have item like this. Item is each box. So I have this item, but I need to have multiple of it. But later on, we are going to use list rendering because I will not be doing it like this. So down here too, I'm going to have function item. So return. This one is going to be a div, and this is going to be item like this. So save. Then we need this order. So last that order, so function order, and here I'm going to return div2 like this, and inside that one, that's where we have all these items like that. So save, and everything should be okay. So save and go back to the page. As you can see, we have the item, but inside the order, nothing is there because we don't put anything. So inside this place too, as you can see, we have three groups. We have this group, we have this info, and we have this button. So let me create this one. Let me even give it. I think we should work on this one first because it's the cheapest one. For this one, I'm going to give it a class name like this. So spouse and order wrapper like this. See the reason why it's good to name this in because each one of them we have their own wrapper, but we need to know which wrapper we're talking about there. So inside this place, I'm going to have this. I'm going to have the div with the div. So this is going to be styles the order total like this. So inside this one, total group. So inside this group, I'm going to have the p tag, or let me have h3 like this, which is going to be order total. So inside this place, I'm going to have this p tag, which is going to be whatever. So I want to use naira, which should be what is that? Self? No, I saw it now. Ah, not giving me. So naira, which is by default, I will just create a const price here. It should just be uh 10,000 for now. And here, we need to format it just like what we did for all these items here. So it is formatted here. So we need to use this our international whatever stuff. So I know. So we have this. So dot number format, then dot format. What are we formatting? Whatever the price that is there. Like that. So after this group, we have this info. So I'm going to have a p tag with styles dot info. No, order info. It's always good that we know where this thing is coming from. But it's not doing it correctly. So let me remove this off. So styles. Yes, what was all this? So inside this info, as you can see, there is this image there, and we have this text. And again, too, you can see that this whatever stuff tampon, whatever stuff is bold. So we need to put all this in order. What's wrong with VS Code? Oh, the div. Where's the div? Something is wrong. What did I do wrong? Oh, yeah, I know. It's putting it outside of the div. This is where it's supposed to be. styles and dot other info. So here we need the image, and this image it's coming from somewhere there. So let me import image info, then from go back, assets, icons, and it should be this carbon natural because it follow the same name there. So copy, then come to this side, paste, inside this place, let me just call it info, like that. Apart from this one, we have this is a, so this one needs to be in a span because I need to load that particular text. So carbon neutral. So this one completes. After that one, we have delivery. So save. Then after this particular P, we need the button. So which is going to be a button, and inside it we have this confirm order. So like this. I think that's all. That's all. So save. I don't need to put any class there because I can just talk to the button that is inside because it's just the only one that is here. Or if you want, do class name, which is going to be styles, then dot confirm between like this. So saved, load, and go back to the page. Then we can start with the styling of the content. So let me delete this structure because I'm done with the layout stuff. And going to the page, which will have all these items. The only thing we just can see now, the thousands has been formatted for us like that. So the only thing we just need to do is to make sure that this thing is arranged properly. So we are going to start with this, where is it? This side, because we need to apply a space in between the content there. So I will just pause here for now, and in the next class we continue uh, from there. So let me just pause from here.